I'm back, cause no real trick. So y'all, 10 plus 10, it's 10 plus 10 equals 10 plus 10 equals 10 plus 10. 5 plus 5 equals 5 plus 5 equals 5 plus 5 equals 10. And 3 plus 3 equals 6. And 1 plus 1 equals 2. And 4 plus 4 equals, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And 4 plus 4 equals 8. And then, let me see. I'm done with that. Because it's only a little bit number. So, alright, y'all. We're trying to get into the video. Okay.
Says someone has this plan to kill Jackie, to kill two of his associates.
Alright, y'all. I'm in my mama. So, Whoa, Bernie, you scared me. I didn't know you was there.
Hey, go turn that light off in the kitchen. Get out of my room. What's wrong with your clothes? Why the front of your drawers got a spot on them? Why?
Because I was peeing.
Didn't I tell you get a piece of tissue and wipe that little wee wee? I ain't fuck out my way if I slap you in this phone.
That's not a good like
Johnny Fat.
became a target too.
I found out that there was a plan to kidnap me. Jackie calls, says, listen, I'm gonna be sending you away. He said, don't ask any questions. And so I packed, I go back to see my parents, let my parents know. My intentions is to never come back.
Thelma and her son were put in care of Jackie's friends in LA, including an elderly Asian woman who was also his connect, known as Auntie.
Auntie was my sister's back. She was like another mother to her. She kept her in her head.
She used to take me to get sushi, taking me like horseback riding. She was like a aunt, like a grandmother. And so to know that she was like the plug, it's like crazy.
You could put her in the crowd with anybody. She would be the least person you would think of to handle anything of that nature. The least.
Life on the West Coast was good for Thelma. Within months, she had gotten her own place and even started a sportswear business.
I'm living in California, he's living in Philly. I started to mature. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I didn't want to do. I knew what I wasn't going to accept anymore. I had gained this strength. And when he calls me and tells me, you can come home, I say, I am home. And I remember Jackie saying to me, you have grown up. You're a real woman now. And I think he respected that. We're talking about all of the things that we felt went wrong in our marriage and how we could fix it and make it right.
But the street still called. And though he was convinced his family was safe, Jackie himself was hardly in the clear. On Thursday, August 7th, 1986, he went to see a man named Dennis Rogers who owed him money and suddenly went missing.
August 7th, that Thursday, around 5:30, this eerie feeling comes over me, and I start to call back home, back east, to see, if I could get in touch with Jackie. Auntie is already in Philly, and he called that Friday morning, my birthday, to tell me she had met with Jackie in Philly. He put her in a hotel, but he never came back. My gut is telling me that something is wrong. So I called his attorney, who was also a friend of ours, and I told him, I think something has happened to him. Did he think I should come home? And he said, yes.
She flew to Philly to look for him and led cops to Jackie's last known location, a house that belonged to Dennis's girlfriend.
And they kick in the door. They come back to the car and they ask me, did I have a picture of him? And I kept this picture in my wallet of me, Jackie, my mother, and my father. I give them the picture, and the police officer looks over at me and he says, your husband is in the house and he's dead. A woman was able to lure my husband to his death under the pretense that he would be paid, knowing that her boyfriend has said, when he gets here, I'm going to kill him.
It was a setup. He gets up there, and the guys up there waiting behind the door. He never left the house. That was it.
He's found in this house. He's rolled up in a rug. It's the worst thing that you can imagine. I mean, he's been killed, and I'm sitting there in the car, and I watch them bring his body out in a body bag. It happened the day before my 30th birthday. Like, it's unimaginable. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
I remember my mom, we were having a conversation, and I asked her, like, where was he? Is he coming back or whatever? And she said, he's gone, like he's not coming back. I might have probably started to shut down emotionally, being 3 years old or 4 years old at that time.
And the coroner said he died somewhere between 7:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it was 5:30 Pacific Standard Time when I got that bad feeling. And I always believed that that's when he took his last breath.
Tell the boys out the way, they're scared to come outside.
Jackie's death was about to change Thelma's life in more ways than one. Right after Jackie's funeral, one of his associates came by with a tempting offer.
He said, what are we going to do? I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, you know, we got to keep going. We got to keep working.
His friends, they still want to live. They still want to survive. And they're feeling like, okay, you know, you're the closest thing to him. Can we keep this going?
I had the trust fund that Jackie had set up through my grandfather. And I had my insurance policy, but it was a part of my life. This is how we had been living for almost 10 years.
She was familiar with the ins and outs, having been in that relationship that she was in, and it's either this where I know I can get it, or go out here and try and do something I don't know.
Okay.
I just remember talking to Auntie about getting involved.
Make the boots clap.
And I
Get
asked
out.
Auntie if she think
Get
that
out.
would be possible. And she said, yeah, you could do it. She said, I'll show you how you could do it.
Heard you ain't been in my video.
Just